Welcome back to Macro Golf 10 miles an hour in 10-week challenge. This is video number 4 of the series. If it's the first video you're seeing from this series, don't worry, I'm going to link all the previous videos in the description below. But make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the little bell as well so you'll get notifications of all of these videos as they're released. So today's video is all about the physical training that I'm going to be doing and the physical training advice that I'll give you guys if you are to follow this 10 miles an hour in 10-week challenge. Physical training is going to make up a huge part of this challenge because it's where we're going to develop most of our power and most of our strength. And it's these advances in power and strength that are going to correlate across to our increase in swing speed. So the power and strength changes that we're making through the gym work will be both increasing our neuromuscular abilities and our physical abilities to swing that club faster. So I will publish the training plan that I'm going to follow, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But I don't advise that you follow that plan exactly because it will depend on your training history, the availability of equipment, and many different aspects to see what the best training for you is for these 10 weeks. No matter what the situation is, there are 3 main aspects that you're going to need to hit to get the most out of this training over the 10 weeks. The first one of them is developing power, the second one of them is going to be developing strength, and the third one is going to be building muscle mass. When we think of power, power is actually a combination of strength and speed. So we're going to get our work done in the gym on building the strength. We're going to do some power exercises which are going to build some speed with that as well. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the golf specific training we're going to do in terms of overspeed training, which all of those combining together will give us our increase in club head speed. In terms of the muscle mass that we're looking to gain, there's a strong correlation across from muscle mass to strength and to power. So if we can increase our muscle mass, we're going to help on that other side of the equation of increasing our strength, which then in turn would increase our power and eventually then our swing speed. So to make sure we're hitting all 3 of these areas, if you want to follow my plan, that's absolutely fine. If you're going to put a plan together for yourself, then I recommend doing it in the following way. So the first thing you're going to want to do in one of those sessions is work on the power move, because it's going to be when you're fresh and ready and you can produce the most amount of speed and the most amount of strength in one go. So I always recommend doing at least one power exercise at the start of each session. After that power exercise, I then recommend moving on to strength. So for strength, I recommend either doing 2 or 3 exercises to work on the strength in that movement pattern. And then finally, after your strength exercises, you can then move on to hypertrophy, which is our muscle building exercises. And then again, 2 or 3 exercises in that range to work on building the muscle. Once you've got the build up of one session, you can then divide your split out. So for myself, I'm gonna work it in a push, pull, lower body split. That's my personal preference. You can do it in movement pattern splits, you can do it in various other ways. There's many different variations and there's no right or wrong way of designing these plans. I could do a whole new series on the best way to design training plans for increasing strength, power and swing speed, but it's out the scope of this video. I wanted to give you a little bit of a brief insight into the physical training, but also mention all the other attributes in the other videos as well. So it's a little bit out of the scope for this video to go into all the details, but hopefully I'll give you enough of a description that you can either set a plan for yourself or follow my one, which I'll put in the description below. One thing I will note when doing this training, if you are hitting all those areas of the power, the strength and the muscle building, you will get some muscle soreness from the training, and the muscle soreness from the training will affect your golf performance. So with that in mind, I don't recommend following these 10 weeks if you're in, for example, a competition season, if you're a pro, or if you're playing a lot semi-competitively as an amateur. I would wait probably until the off season, or if you don't mind potentially sacrificing some of your performance throughout these 10 weeks, then that's absolutely fine. But you just need to be prepared that the amount of training you're going to be doing and the amount of goal specific training on the next video that I'm going to mention is going to take up a lot of time, and it's going to be quite brutal on the body for those 10 weeks. So just be prepared for that, and maybe kind of plan your 10 weeks with that in mind. So just to recap on training, you need to be hitting all 3 areas of power, strength and muscle mass. How you split those out is up to you. For myself, I'm probably going to do 4 sessions per week, but on a 3-day split. So I'll just rotate those 3 sessions around as I go. Within the sessions, you work first on the power, then work on the strength, and then move on to the muscle building exercises. And how you split those days out in terms of either muscle groups or movement patterns is personal preference for you. As I said, my plan is linked below. You can download that for free if you want to. The mobility plan from the previous video is also there. So all the information you're going to need on the training I'm going to be doing for mobility and strength is available for you. So that's all for this video. I hope you found that informative, and I hope you can get your training set up. The next video after this is on the golf specific training. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the little bell so you'll get notification once that video is released, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.